Truckers are warning us. There are empty ports going on right now. There's cut hours, less freight, and it's not just a drill, it's the front line of our food supply, and the food supply is collapsing.
Another worst week for the trucking industry. I'm actually sitting in Seattle, Washington right now without a load. I don't have no load right now. I dropped my load 8 o'clock in the morning and it's already 1 o'clock that I'm sitting here waiting for the load. A lot of people been asking me, does it gonna get fixed? Is it gonna get better? I have no clue what is gonna happen because day by day it's getting worse and worse. I have no clue. I haven't seen trucking industry like this in the past 10 years. This is the worst year for the trucking industry. Worst year. All the truck drivers, we have nothing else to do besides taking shower all day.
America, brace yourselves for what's coming. Obviously, if you don't know, I'm a truck driver. We are in a recession right now. Banks have announced a recession, right? And unfortunately, us as truck drivers, we've been feeling this. Some will tell you a year, 2 years, 3 years, but the public has not realized this until now, right? Now, what's going to happen is it's like deja vu all over again. Warehouses are running out of product. They have only so much, and the rest is going to be relied on other countries. Unfortunately, due to the tariffs, we don't have anything to rely on right now, right? Amazon just announced they're laying off thousands of people across the country. For example, my son works at UPS part-time while he's in college. They cut his hours and many of their hours, right? Let's start. Whoever had a car note is going to get their car repossessed. The housing market, foreclosure is going to happen. Bankruptcy is going to happen. There's nothing wrong with bankruptcy. Starting all over. Donald Trump, our president, our commander-in-chief, has filed bankruptcy multiple times under corporation names, right? So that's normal. Fresh start. But we have to understand Donald Trump, I've always said this, right? On paper looks good what he's trying to do. What I mean by that is, ladies and gentlemen, for it to look good on paper, in reality, we would have to reset back into the late 80s, early 90s. What does that mean when I say that? The way things cost the average American to live. We would have to go back to those days for manufacturing jobs to come back in our country and for people to be able to work in these manufacturers. Other than that, you would have to put robots in these warehouses for it to work. The average American wants a very good hourly pay, lucrative, wants 401k, wants health insurance. All that's going to come from the consumer. When the product is being made, all that has to come into consideration and break it down per unit, per cost. It's a little too late for that, right? That's just the way it is.
Thousands of American truck drivers are quitting right now. Why? Tariffs, empty ports, and a collapsing system no one's talking about. This is more than a crisis. It's a warning. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the real stories behind the headlines. If you drive, ship, or consume anything in America, this affects you. Let's get into why truckers are giving up and how this ripple effect could hit your wallet next. Before we dive in, I want to appreciate independent creators whose work featured in this video. Thank you for your creativity that added value to this video. Right now, U.S. ports are drying up not because there's no demand, but because international tariffs are throttling trade. Container ships are waiting offshore, but there's nothing to unload. That means truckers are showing up to empty ports and wasting hours, unpaid. So where do tariffs come in? The trade war and retaliatory taxes have made importing goods from Asia more expensive, leading many companies to cut back or shift operations. But no one told the truckers. Imports from China dropped 20%. Tariffs reshape supply chain. No cargo, no pay. That's why so many are walking away. It's not just trucking. This is a sign of deeper cracks in America's supply chain. Independent drivers, the backbone of freight, are going broke. And it's not because they're lazy, it's because the system is breaking. If something doesn't change, you'll feel it at the grocery store, the gas pump, and in your Amazon delays. In the next video, we're diving into the secret deals big corporations are making to dodge tariffs and how small businesses and drivers are left in the dust. Don't miss it. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this story matters. Drop a comment if you're a driver or know someone affected. And subscribe for more real talk the mainstream won't touch.
Once those last cargo ships come, that's it. It's done. Once they get to store shelves, that is it. And the fact that this is being compared worse than COVID is scary as shit. There's gonna be so much job loss, and the fact that the first people that are gonna get laid off are your transportation people. So it's going to be like your trucking industry, your FedEx, your UPS, your people that work on the ports laid off. And then eventually people in the automotive industry will be laid off. And then it'll trickle down to your retail and your fast food and restaurants. Yeah, dude, this is a scary time. I'm trying to keep calm in this, but I know the outcome that it's gonna be probably, because I remember COVID and those grocery store shelves were crazy and the prices were insane. And the fact like we're going to that path, if not worse, is more crazy.
The Port of Los Angeles is the busiest in the Western Hemisphere, but now it's preparing for a dramatic slowdown, according to Executive Director Gene Soroka.
What do you anticipate happening over the next couple of weeks?
In 2 weeks' time, Carter, we'll see a drop on our import side of the business by about a third. It could be as much as 40% the week to follow. Most American importers are saying that they're stopping shipments out of China because they simply weren't going to pay 2.5 times the cost of the goods.
With a 145% tariff, a container of Chinese goods worth $100,000 will now cost importers an extra $145,000.
With information coming out of Washington seemingly by the hour, it's tough to get a line of sight on what's next. Inventory on hand right now in the United States will last for about 6 to 8 weeks. After that, shelves will be bare. We won't be able to buy as much online.
Have you guys seen the ports? If you haven't seen the ports, go ahead and look in your search bar for Los Angeles ports or Seattle ports, because it is being reported they're an absolute ghost town. And the last ships are coming in at the end of this month. And on the East Coast, it's not getting any better. The last ship coming in from China is targeted for May 10th. And if you look at ports in China, the largest port in China, it is an active, busy hub.
Right now, truckers across the country are reporting a really disturbing trend. The hours are being cut, like I said, the loads are disappearing, and the freight rates are dropping. And it's not just rumors. Major ports like in Seattle and Los Angeles are seeing a noticeable slowdown. Containers are sitting or they're simply not arriving. And it's a direct result of what's going on with the trade war and new tariffs. And when truckers aren't working, it's not just about them. It means that there's going to be less food, less fuel, and fewer essentials are going to be moved around the country for you and I. And what most people don't get as well is that truckers are really the heartbeat of the American economy. If the shelves are stocked, it's because a trucker typically got it there. If your fridge is full, thank a truck driver. This is how food shortages can sneak up on a nation, not just through a sudden catastrophe, but through a slowdown of logistics, a breakdown of it that people usually don't choose to pay much attention to. If ports are empty and truckers are idle, the freight is drying up, you need to ask yourself, how long before your local store starts cutting back as well? What happens when the restocks take longer and when items disappear without warning? This is how it starts, and it's already in motion. You can see it going on everywhere. When you turn on the news, people are talking about it everywhere. Your friends and family might be starting to say something. You might be seeing it in the stores already, and it's supposed to get worse in the very coming weeks. In fact, before the end of May, most people will be seeing this take place at a store near you. For me and my family, we always try and stay prepared ahead of time, so we don't wait for the next disaster to take place before we start preparing for things that may come down the pipeline eventually. We stock up on things that we need. Have you heard of the saying, beans, bullets, and Band-Aids? So things like that, keep that in mind. But you really want to make sure that you have your essentials covered, and you don't just wait until everybody in the world is out there panic buying at the grocery store or other places. You want to be ahead of the curve and do that beforehand. And even if you only have a couple dollars, you can still go out and get something. So don't let the fact of maybe not having a whole lot of money stop you from being proactive. You don't need a lot of money to start working on preparedness. Also, start paying attention to the patterns going on in your local area. Check what's going on in your stores. See if they're starting to miss certain items, if quantities are shrinking, if the delivery schedules are changing, and if you see a downgrade in the quality as well. So pay attention. Truckers are not just giving this warning for no reason. And again, it's not just about freight, it's about the fragility of our system that we all rely on. So remember, now's the time to be smart, get prepared, and stay under the radar when you do. Have more of the gray man approach and don't just be caught hoarding all these items at the very last minute. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Take care.